Okay, this one is for my little buddy Lily Bee, who I love so much. And today, Lily, we're going to make ourselves a ring out of silver. What do you think? I think it's a good idea. Okay, maybe we can make 100 rings. What do you think? How about 1,000? Okay, so we start with silver. How about a chunk about this size? What do you think? That'll make a pretty good ring. Okay, maybe a little smaller, huh? All right. Let's go for smaller. Do we have smaller? We don't have a little smaller. We have somewhat smaller. How about this size? Well, that might be a little bit too small. Okay, someplace in between. Oh, hey, look at this one right here. This looks like just about the right size. Of course, getting it out of the stack of messed up silver wire and such, there could be a whole nother ballgame. But we'll try. Well, we'll take a break right now. We'll come back in a minute once I get this untangled from the rest of the mat. Finally able to pull a single little piece of wire out from behind all of that mess. And here we go. This is not too bad. Now, first thing we do is we have to clean the wire because it's a little bit old and you can probably tell it's got just a bit of a tarnish to it. So we just go ahead and take a piece of steel wool and just pull the steel wool across the surface of the wire itself. And I don't know if you can tell now, but the wire's a lot cleaner and it's prettier and it's ready to go. Alright, so now I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to bend it exactly in half, just like that. Alright, now I think what we can do is we can bend it in half one more time. Let's just see how that's going to turn out. There's our second in half. Alright, we got 4 oddly tangled up, weird pieces of wire. Okay, now how are we going to make a ring out of that? That's a mess. Well, give me a minute, okay? All right, I'll be back in a second. Okay, we're going to take our little piece of wire and we're going to put it in a vise and kind of clamp it down in the vise. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Just crush it right into the vise. This is the kind of tricky, fun part here. We're going to crush that a little bit more. Take a little pair of vice grips, grip it right here at the, just where it got bent, and just kind of crush it down a little bit tighter, just so it grabs everything. And now comes the fun part. We put a drill on it. Tighten it all up. Can you see that from here? See how it's starting to twist? Yep, I can see, you can see. And we just kind of pull and twist at the same time. Now we got ourselves a little kind of a kinked up piece of wire. Let's see if we can come in real close. Yeah, you can see a little bit kinked up. It's about, what, 4 inches long or so. That's going to make a good size. So then we've got a nice little bundle of this wire here. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and cut one end off. We'll take the big wire cutters because they're much bigger, and rather than the little dinky wire cutters, which will probably break the wire cutters trying to cut that big piece of wire. So we'll take these big ones and we just come in and clip it. You can see it's clipped right there. Can you see that? Yeah, there it is. And we'll go ahead and cut the other side too. Now remembering that, notice there's see this little kink right here? It's nice and even all the way down to here, and then it kind of kinks out right in there. And that's going to make a really interesting part of the design. So I want to incorporate that part into the design itself. So at this point, actually, you know what I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll cut both sides. So we got two really nice finished sides. Now this is going to be a huge ring, but at the same time we're going to be getting, we can always cut more off later. So we take the file and we file everything nice and flat. There we go. Let's see if we can get that in close. Anyhow, I think it kind of came in close. It's hard to know. We'll file the other end real flat. There we go. Got four nice little beads. Now at this point I could roll this around and attach it to the other side, which is what I eventually want to do. But what will happen is these things will come undone and then it'll be hard to kind of line them up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, weld each little side just a little bit, just so that it holds together. So let's go over to the welding bench and do that. Alright, we got our little piece of silver here. We're going to put just a little bit of flux on both ends. Just a little bit of flux. Look, look. Look, look, right there and there. Put her back down. We could probably just grab it with the third hand here. Can you still see that? No, you can't. Okay, third hand right there. Come in with a little solder. In this case we're going to use medium solder. If I can get to it. There it is. And once again cleaning it up with a little steel wool just to kind of make it shiny and get rid of some of the gunge. Come in with my little mini torch. I'm going to fire it up right now. We got little mini torch fired up. Got a little bit of heat there. And just come in and we're just going to put just the slightest bit of solder right on the end of this. Just a little bit. Just enough to weld the ends together. Heat it up to temperature. Come on. And as soon as the solder melts, when we get away from it, I think that'll do it. We'll flip it around, do the other side. And as I said before, this is going to be a giant ring. But we can always make it smaller, it's no problem. Heat it up just a little bit. We're going to give it a little bit more temperature. All right. Take and cool it off. All right, we're sitting right here. We're going to take a little pair of pliers, round nose pliers, so it doesn't crimp it too much. Oh, let's file it flat just to get it flat again. All right, now take this, crimp it around. Take this side, crimp it around till we get it to everything to meet up. And as I said, this is going to be a giant ring. But, you know, hey, that's part of the fun of it. So just kind of keep coming around until the two ends actually face each other exactly. And then bring it in. Can you see that? So that the ends are touching. Just about right. Right there. Nah, it doesn't look like, it looks like I need to file it a little bit differently. We're trying to get the ends to touch exactly. There we go. And I think we did it. All right, so we've got the ends are totally connected, and we will come in and weld that, and then we'll go from there. All right, we got ourselves a super macro close-up. We're going to take a little flux one more time. Put it right on the joint there. Fire up our torch. Come up with some easy solder. Come in with the torch, heat the whole thing up really good. Just throw a little bit of solder on it. You can kind of see the solder almost wants to melt right there. We're trying to get both sides the same temperature. There it goes. Ta-da! Grab it with the tongs and put it in the water. And there we go. We have a nice joint. It's good and solid. It's going to hold up well. So, now to the fun part. Okay, now comes the easy part. Very easy. We get a mandrel, a ring mandrel. We put it on the ring mandrel. That's no good. You know, you're kind of looking at it and go, well, you know, that's an okay ring. It doesn't look that good. Well, I agree. You're right. It doesn't. We'll take our little leather mallet. We start just kind of rounding it up a little bit. And each time I tap it a few times, I pull it a little bit bigger, just to give myself a nice round ring look. Now the problem is we're getting close to the end of the mandrel here. So, but I think we can get some of this done. Now we got that in place. Everything's all ready to go. We'll take a forming hammer that has a nice polished surface on it so it doesn't ding up the ring. And we know that this is our back side and everything else is the front side. So then we just kind of start tapping on it. And what we're doing is flattening out the surface, and of course at the same time making the ring bigger, which is not, at this point, not that great, but it's going to be fine. So we're at our limit, and you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but the ring starts to take on this really nice little pattern. Let's see if we can get this into a nice close-up photo. Alright, we brought it into a nice macro lens. And that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now keep tapping that and it'll form into even more of a shape. But first I think, you know, the ring's just way too big. I mean, it's going to fit my finger way up here. So what we're going to do is cut it down and make it a little smaller. So let's take it back to the welding bench. We'll cut it down. Well, let's cut it down first. That's probably a good idea. Find our joint, which is right here. Cut that. We're going to cut a bit of this out. Maybe even more. There we go. Drag that around so that they match up. Oh, first we got to file it a little bit. Just file it round. I mean, file it flat. That ought to do it. That looks pretty good. Now, we'll drag it on around so that it matches up. That looks pretty good. And then just, I bend it off to one side a little bit and then drag it around and bend it off to the other side a little bit until I get those ends to match up, and then just kind of bring them in so that they're nice and matched. Can you see that? Yeah. There we go. So they're pretty well matched up right now. And we'll come in and just do a little bit of weld right there, and everybody will be happy.